Hello YouTube, this is Miss Drew, and if you do not know me, get to know me. I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I'm a shaman teacher, I'm an energy worker. I have been here for 15 years. I'm loving it. I have a book on Amazon. I also have a featured magazine cover with Awaken magazine. So, enough about me. Today we are going to dive into you and your childhood trauma. Now, take a deep breath with me. Process your nervous system, relax, and I want you to enjoy this video and I hope it heals you. So, a lot of us deal with childhood trauma, and let me say it's no big traumas, no little traumas. At the end of the day, it's your trauma. I have did thousands of readings where I have seen people have mommy issues, daddy issues, and a lot of people think that when you have these type of issues that either you had abuse or it was something really deep and dark. And this is not true neither. Some people have mommy and daddy issues because they were spoiled. They were never told no. They were never told you're wrong. So there are different types of issues which we're talking about childhood trauma, which affects you today. Now, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter your ethnicity. This has to do with us as human beings and the trauma that we carry that could be crossing over to adulthood. This is why you see a lot of people that are still childish, not in a good way. They're still not in tune with their inner child because they don't know how to show emotions. They don't know how to process emotions. They don't know how to feel the things they're supposed to feel. So they either self-medicate. They do a lot of deflecting. That is a lot of childhood issues and trauma. So the first thing that you need to do is first recognize it. It doesn't have to be anyone else saying, hey, you have trauma, something's wrong with you. It has to be you. You have to be the one internally to say, okay, Spirit, I'm noticing this pattern in myself that I do not like. Where did it come from and why am I doing it? We are programmed at such a young age because we are so open, we are so vulnerable, we are so new to everything, and we don't realize that the person we are today is actually a program of childhood. You could have been raised by a very emotional mom, and now you're carrying the weight of feeling like you need to be responsible for everybody's emotions. You could be overly loving. You can be overly giving and not even realize that you actually deserve that love too because of how you were raised and your trauma. Unfortunately, as a reader, I see so many people that have not healed from their childhood experiences. And it is both spiritually, okay? It is spiritually and it's also psychologically. Okay, I am not a licensed therapist, but I do a lot of therapy. I do a lot of therapy, you guys. So it's both psychological and it's spiritual. And one of the reasons why I'm talking about this today is because it is so heavy. I am starting to see it more and more in my readings, in people, in friends. Some people lash out when they don't get their way, or some people don't feel like they're good enough where they're actually putting themselves first, or they're looking for love in all the wrong places, all the wrong people, picking up narcissistic relationships because they've had that in childhood. You might have been raised by a narcissistic parent. You might have been raised by a parent that wasn't spiritually aware of what they were doing. So when we are dealing with childhood trauma, sometimes it can turn into depression. It can turn into loneliness. It can turn into you pushing everyone away. You know, it's a really deep thing, but you have to face it to heal from it. One of the things that I'm going to say, if you guys know me, I'm very open with my entire life, because I believe truth is healing. So one of the things for me, I had to realize that I didn't know love. I didn't have a father. I didn't have a healthy father figure. Of course, I pushed through because I thought, hey, this is normal. But at the end of the day, it affected me so heavy, I didn't realize it until I got into maybe my late 20s, early 30s. And I'm like, okay, something is wrong here. And I need to figure out what it is. I was attracting people that I had to overly love. And I know you know what I'm talking about. If you're the overly lover person, I would overly love them. I would overly try to fix them. I would put myself on a back burner a million times, even to the point where I felt, as I started to learn that, hey, I was being bullied. I was being bullied. I was being mistreated. And that person or persons didn't understand, oh, she has trauma, let me help her. They said, she has trauma, let me take advantage of her. I was that person. Now you have some of those that are aggressive with it, where they don't need love, or they don't care about love, or they don't want to cry, or they're not emotional, but then you still push people away because you're not in tune with other people's feelings. There is a combination of childhood trauma, okay? There is so many different scenarios. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of mine so you can understand from a real person that trauma is real and we do have to heal from it. Once I went within, it took me a minute, and I want you guys to know, when you're healing from childhood trauma, it takes a minute for you to process years of damage, years of abuse, years of narcissistic energy, years of you just not feeling good enough. This is affecting you guys with work, business, mothers, fathers. It's affecting you guys in every way that you don't even understand. We have to work in a process where when we finally get it, we get it. And we change it. It's not easy. It affects friendships. You might have had issues with your mom, and now you don't trust women, don't trust men. Whatever the case may be, these traumas affect your everyday life. The best way to heal is for you to first acknowledge it. And that means balling up in your little corner and asking the universe, how do I fix this? How do I give myself love? Even if you're not emotionally in tune, or you don't cry, or you're a suck it up buttercup kind of person, when you sit in that corner and you connect with spirit, you need to ask them, how do I get over this? How do I become vulnerable to truth? How do I become vulnerable to healing? How do I love myself? A lot of us wasn't loved correctly, which trickle down to this trauma that you might have, that every day it's affecting your life. It's affecting your relationships. And I'm going to use the word accountability, because in order to face this, you have to take accountability. And sometimes accountability might not look like what you think it should look like. You might have to be accountable for not loving yourself, not seeing your power, not seeing your worth. That might be a part of your accountability. You know what? I feel like crap because I didn't love myself. I didn't put myself first. Why did I do that? What made me so insecure? Insecure is a very sensitive word, and we are in a society where people always have to be perfect. Even to the point where human beings are becoming cookie cutter. They are getting certain things done. They want to look the same. They want to look like the next, what someone will call pretty girl. So insecurities run so deep. in today's society, it's time to love you for who you are. Not putting any of those women down, or men, whatever the case may be, but this is me speaking to the person that understands what's going on inside of them. If you are insecure because of your look, if you were a little darker, a little lighter, whatever the case may be, however you may have felt, you need to see yourself in order to heal and go to the next level of your life. We all have levels in life. It's like a video game. I'm sorry, I'm a gamer. It's like a video game. And we all have levels in life. So I want you to take a minute and ask yourself, where is my next level going to lead me? And what do I need to do to get there? Do I need therapy? Do I need a session? Do I need a psychic reading? Whatever the case may be, whatever gets you to your next space in life, I want you to ask yourself that. We need healed people on this planet. We need people that are authentically themselves. They're not worried about how many people like something. They're not worried about how many people like their hair, or the guys, if your abs, whatever it is, whatever your insecurities is, whatever your childhood traumas is, whatever it could be, we need, intergalactically, we need people that are self-aware, that are healed, and that is ready to get out and help other people heal in a world where people are so dishonest with themselves. So today I challenge you to be honest with that inner child, that little girl, that little boy that didn't get the love, that didn't get the hugs, that were not told no enough. Sometimes parents can give you a God complex, and when you get out in society, you realize, oh, the world's not giving me my way. I challenge you to heal that child. I challenge you to talk to that child. No matter how big or small your trauma is. Once you see your flaws, once you see the things that you have done, and you face them daily, it takes a lot of reprogramming. Even when it comes to relationships. Once you reprogram that inner child and you realize that, hey, I wasn't picking people that loved me. So then it takes you to different spaces where now you're spotting the people that don't love you. I hear a lot of people say, I don't care, I could be by myself. We're not meant to be by ourselves, you guys. We're not. We're meant for love. We vibrate off love. We vibrate off healing. And it's almost like our humanity is slowly being taken away from us, which is making people cold and shut off and introverted. But we don't heal that way. You can stay in the house all day long, say I'm healed, I fixed myself, but then when you go outside, you're not healed. We have to get out. We have to connect. We have to have experiences. We have to let that inner child explore, because that's the only way that we are going to actually heal and become true adults. Because there are a lot of people that say adulting, and they're not. There are people out here that don't know how to pay bills. There are people out here that don't know how to pay rent. There are people out here that don't know how to drive. There are people out here that haven't been in serious relationships, and they're older because of the inner child part. They might be scared of driving. They might not have been taught how to pay bills. They might not lived on their own. And that inner child is struggling. I've dealt with a lot of people. They get their first apartment. I think I was like that too. It was a long time ago. But I got my first apartment and I was like, holy crap, what is this? I have to pay for this? I have to pay for food? I have to pay for lights? I have to pay for water? Who does this? But I was not an adult. I was not an adult. I did not understand. It still took me years after that to understand. Some people, like, they get to the adulting and they're like, okay, I want to go have fun. And then you can't pay for nothing else because you went out and you had fun. Now your lights is about to be cut off or your rent is due. You know, those kind of things. So even when people struggle financially still as adults, a lot of that is inner child that's not healed. A lot of that is processing that, hey, I don't want to really do this. I want to be a kid again. I bet you guys never thought about it like that. I hear some people like, Miss Drew, I'm struggling to pay my bills. Okay, what does your money look like? Does your money match your lifestyle? But some of that we weren't taught. We weren't taught the things that we actually need in life. We might have been talked to. We might have been talked at, but we wasn't taught. There is a difference. Even for my kids now, because of what I was never taught, I make sure they know bank accounts, they know how much something is. If we go out, they have their own debit cards. They actually have credit cards. I teach them credit even though they are 16 and lower. I want them to be taught this, right? So when they become adults, that they're financially aware, they're financially smart. And then I also work on their emotions. If they're feeling something, I talk to them. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling that? What are the depths of that? Do you want to cry? It's okay if you want to cry. Do you want to be mad? Because it's making them emotionally aware. And some of us didn't get that. We didn't get that. We didn't get accountability. We didn't get emotional awareness because the adult in the house were dealing with their childhood trauma. And some of them were projecting. You were a problem. You were a bill. You were a bill. I gotta feed you. I gotta clothe you. I gotta pay for this roof over your head. I know y'all know what I'm talking about because I heard it my whole life. And it made it seem like you were a burden. And some of you guys can get into relationships where, okay, I'm going to overly financially pay for somebody because I want them to feel love. And it might be because you didn't feel that. It might be because a parent told you this is what is real love. This is real. I have to feed you. I have to support you. Whatever the case may be, it could have affected your relationships to this day. So I'm going to reiterate. I want you guys first to know if you stumbled on this video, there is a reason why. Sit down. Slow your nervous system down. And connect with that inner child. See the things that you can do better to heal yourself and become that connected, spiritually loved adult that you deserve to be. You deserve love. You deserve happiness. You deserve to be whole. And if our inner child is not healed, we are not whole. The thing that I keep inside of me is the playfulness and the joy. And I can honestly say I am probably more playful than my children. I am the one, well, me and my husband, but we are very playful. We will skate in the house. If anybody knows us, they know we're just that. Even if we're in your presence, we are loving, we like to laugh, we like to have fun, and that is me being whole because I've healed that inner child. I don't go outside of my door afraid of people anymore. I don't go outside of that door with my insecurities that I used to have. Afraid people are going to hurt me, take advantage of me. Because there was something inside of me that made me naive to the red flags. I hear people say, I was hurt, I was this, I was that. But it was something inside of you that made you naive to the red flags. I'm no longer naive to that. If something doesn't set right here, then I know to walk away. Don't keep playing with it. Don't try to change, save, heal, unless it's work. I don't do that. The inner child, the old inner child, oh, what's wrong? Why you don't like me? Is it me? Is it me? Why don't people like me? Come here, let me heal you. You need something, let me get it for you. And then as soon as they turn around and bite me, I'm like, why did they do this to me? It makes you feel like crap, you guys. But it's not you. It's that inner child that's not healed, that's not seeing that person, situation, thing, whatever it could be for what it is, facing it and moving forward. And that means letting go. So I'm going to end the video here. I am hugging every inner child that have watched this video. I'm sending you a hug. I want you to hug yourself. I want you to say it's okay to be loved. It's okay to heal, and it's okay to be whole, because you deserve that. So I love you guys. You guys know how to get in contact with me. If you do not know how to get in contact with me, I will post my website down below. I am here for a session if you need it. That's what I do. I'm not a card reader. I'm an intuitive reader, you guys. So I work a lot differently than you would see the card readers do. So love, light, and healing to my inner child.